So in the end, nothing is going to happen. I think, A, the Republican leadership deserves some praise for understanding that they were doing something unbelievably stupid. B, the individual members of the legislature, I think, didn't fully know what their leaders were doing. C, the Joint Finance Committee apparently believes that all it is a rubber stamp for the leadership of the caucuses in the Assembly and the Senate. Now, I did talk today to Representative Dale Kooyenga. He apologized to me for what happened. Said they didn't give proper consideration to this amendment. In the future, he wants there to have to be at least 24 hours between the presentation of a budget amendment and a passage of it. I think you have a lot of members who feel as though their leadership poorly served them here, but you also had a lot of members who had the leaders put in stuff they wanted in. In the end, I think this should be interpreted as no harm, no foul, because they have pulled back from what they were trying to do. It is apparent, however, that there remains a wing of the Republican Party that just isn't comfortable with governing openly. Public records can be seen by the public for good or for bad. Well, it's hard to draft a bill when we've got a turnover. Maybe it is. But you know what? The legislature already is exempt from a lot of open meetings laws that other governmental bodies have to live up to. Legislature can close its caucuses, throw the media out. City council can't do that unless it conforms to the open meetings law. They already have protections that don't exist elsewhere in government. One of the ramifications of being in power, and this is admittedly new for Republicans, they haven't had total control of everything prior to the last several years here with the Walker election in 10 and so on. Part of the ramification of being in charge means that you are the target and people are going to be snooping in and trying to find out what you're doing. That's what happens when you have power. In the end, I will tell you why I feel this was such an outrageous action. If the Democrats did it when Doyle was governor, I would have gone nuts. As it was almost impossible to get information out of the Doyle administration, even using the Open Records Act. In the end, the Republican leadership and Governor Walker, who did a 180 and backed off on something they wanted to do, should be praised for listening and understanding that they were running the risk of screwing up prevailing wage, screwing up the arena, screwing up transportation, screwing up school choice, all the other things that they wanted to do, because this would have derailed the budget. It would have been an assault, in my case, on public access to court records, and many would have perceived it as an assault to Wisconsin's tradition of open government, which is one of the traditions we have that is actually a good one. In the end, what matters most is the end result. And they did listen. I think that this was a brain-dead and arrogant attempt to mess with things that shouldn't be messed with. But unlike a lot of people who are brain-dead, they were smart enough to correct their action and walk away with it before it did real damage. And given the fact that everything is now essentially dropped, while there are a lot of people who are angry with one another in the Republican caucuses right now, there isn't any actual damage done.